Facebook. Wait, this is YouTube. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. It's been a long few months, honestly. I know I keep saying that, but without giving into too many intimate details, which you guys don't need to know about or don't care about, that, just to keep saying that and reminding myself it's almost over. Anyway, it's Wednesday, and I apologize for the late update, but I've had a lot to do today. I had to go run errands today and get some things for the fridge, pay bills, all that fun stuff. And the first thing I want to say about that is thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys have, your contributions have made paying bills a little easier. And like I say in my videos for my Patreon supporters, it actually gives me a little breathing room. And I just can't be thankful enough for that. Anyway, so last couple days have been half days work-wise, because at nighttime I'm literally having to rethink how I do things. The biggest change right now is that I think about 2 weeks ago, the Venom and Vampires box set came out, and I picked it up to support an author out of the box set, and then I thought, well, fuck it, I haven't read shit, and I haven't read fiction in a few weeks at least. All I've been reading basically is this and this, and there was another book in there I had just gotten done listening to, and there was Peter Schiff in there for economics purposes, and just all kinds of wine stuff and cigar stuff. And well, anyway, that's all great for personal growth and development and easing my life and learning to invest in the stock market properly. Doesn't do a damn thing for fiction on the face of it. Indirectly, as far as non-fiction is concerned, depending on what it is, you guys probably know that it can come in handy for little nuances in your characters. But as far as actually crafting fiction, I'm pulling from the well of words. Tim Ferriss is a great man, I think, but it's not fiction. 4 Hour Workweek is a non-fiction, effectively a self-help book designed for those who are interested in lifestyle design. And while I am into that and getting more so into it, it doesn't help the books. So I picked up the Venom and Vampires box set, like 20 books for $1, right? First story, pretty good, not a romance. Second story, interesting, not a romance. Third story, really pretty decent, it was a romance. I forgot that it was a mixture of paranormal and urban fantasy, and I tend to eschew urban fantasy just because it's, when I got into the genre years ago, it was the same bullshit, and I won't name authors. I will say that Yasmin Galenorn tended to be one of the authors that stood out as not doing the trends in urban fantasy that I was watching. And those trends included mouthy heroines who were badasses, and mouthy heroines who were kind of chumps, but they were still badasses, but they were chumps because they were beholden to somebody stronger. And I got bored with that really quickly. So it was nice to see 2 other stories not have those components whatsoever. Although I will say the first story in Venom and Vampires, man, that author, she put that heroine through hell. I mean, she really did. So that was cool. Third story I skipped on account of I just don't do first person. Most people don't do it well, and it's overplayed. And I mean, I'm glad that people are trying it, but I'm not a fan. It bugs me reading, and I love her work, but it bugs me even to read Laurel K. Hamilton sometimes because she's got that in there. But I know she does it well for the most part. So, fifth story I'm interested in. It's kind of dark, and I'm getting the sense it's really urban fantasy, but put it this way, based on what I've seen so far, it looks like Rebecca Hamilton, who is, and somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but Rebecca Hamilton was one of the ones that helped choose the authors who, when they tried to buy in, got selected for the story, for the anthology, so, for the box set. And it looks to me like she's got a pretty good eye. So I'm really looking forward to finishing the rest of this box set and seeing what comes out of it and how it kind of helps me twist and turn my mind and twist and turn words. But that being said, I'm either doing that at night or I'm listening to The King by J.R. Ward, because I'm a huge Black Dagger Brotherhood fan. And I sat down Monday night to try to plot. I was working on writing Tempest, and I need a hero's name. I'll make this particular point about that since I'm not giving away details yet. But the story will involve fairy truck driving female and vampire male MC. So that's about all I got right now. I'm going to have to spend some more time between now and the end of the middle of next week talking to Carrie Adrian about plotting deeper and trying to really break down the GMC for these two characters once I give him a name and figure out who he's based on. And the same with Tempest, really. I kind of have a loose idea about these things, and the way this kind of works for me when I don't get woken up at god-awful hour in the morning, which for me is usually between 8 and 9, then or even at 7. At that point, I've only had 3 to 4 hours of sleep. But when it works not that way, what I end up with is letting these ideas kind of percolate and just seeing random scenes in my head. So, scene 1, 2, 3, and they might not be one after the other, but there'll be a scene here that needs to segue into this, and some things that will come up about, like, spin around here and do some shit and, like, end up over there. And then I get up and start thinking about this, and it goes into Scrivener. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to learn to cut stuff out of videos eventually too, and start playing with editing software so that you don't see my yawns and some of my more undesirable behaviors. I need to find the Toastmasters Club, really, and get back into learning how to speak in public, because I can do it at Dragon Con, which is coming up, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I can do it at Frolicon. I can do it when I've had a few too many. It's not a big deal, but then there's like certain things that need to be taken into consideration when you're doing video, and it's not just my inability to understand lighting and what makes me look good on camera, what makes me look like shit. I don't really have that basis either, but I'll learn. But some of the hand gestures and the movements and trying to stay focused on giving a coherent presentation to you guys, Toastmasters will help with that. I've tried to record this video 4 times now, and I already know, because I've said it 3 times prior to, that y'all already know about Chasing the Witch, getting Magenta from Karina. So moving on, I'm going to edit that soon, do something with it. It's either going to go to a bigger publisher as an attempt, or I'm going to give it to City Lights and have one more notch under my belt and see what happens with that. There's room in that series for 5 more books, maybe a 6th if I want to revisit that, or depending on how it shapes up. I don't really know yet. I've got an editing schedule that I will probably sincerely pick up around the time of Dragon Con finishing. And I've got a spreadsheet with like 13 books on there in various stages of completion that need to come out and be edited, and they're almost all of them are done, but I need to get them edited and off to my beta readers before they go where they're supposed to go. Let's talk about Dragon Con for a minute, y'all, just so I can tag them in the video, because it'll be picked up. So Dragon Con 2017, this is my 9th year going to be there. I'm actually a guest again, so thanks to them for that particular privilege. I do kind of expect it at this point, but it's because of the work I put in. But just because I expect something and I get it, which is usually the case, doesn't mean I'll be an ass about it. So obviously I'm not. Thanks to the staff for that, by the way. We'll have, I know I can guarantee 2 videos that'll come out from the EFF track people, and that'll be my marketing panels. It's a marketing panel at 2:30 on Friday. I believe that's the social media marketing panel. and then a marketing panel on Monday at 11:30 in the morning. God knows why they hate me that much, but another marketing panel on. I think it's a little more niche. It's over there on my schedule, which is on my phone. Got a panel on Saturday night at 11:30 about erotica on the writer's track, and there's a panel at 11:30 on Friday night, which I may get out of. Professionally speaking, I gotta catch the train home. We'll see. But I'm also doing a reading at 5:30 and probably cigar herfing after the reading until I decide what's going to go on with if I can either crash somewhere or get a ride back or something. Just because Marta, you'd think that weekend they'd have it figured out that they need to run later because they may incur more expense, but the amount of people that are that literally come in and out every day, it would justify it, definitely. Anyway, excuse me. I just got back from running around all over town. It's 90 fucking degrees outside today, so that's why I'm yawning and tired. I'm actually gonna take a nap before I smoke this. I grabbed it preemptively, thinking I would do the video, upload it, and then just be like, you know what? Go grab my Kindle or my iPad and like read. But no, I'm gonna nap. You guys, as always, I appreciate your support. We'll have some writing tips. The EFF track people always record the videos when they can, and those will be posted not on this channel, but I'll have a link to them. I'll mention some of the highlights in a video here come towards the end of the year when they post them up, and then put a link in the description below. If you like my content, smash the damn button, yo. Subscribe, share it, whole 9 yards. All my social media information is below, and thanks for watching, and I'll check you guys out on Friday when I do Facebook Live from the fan page. Cheers, and Chatelet.